Hi, it's Ian and Tracy Huckabee from eXp Realty on the Crystal Coast. So the other day we were talking about how many of our clients, friends, neighbors have moved to this area since 2020.
Yeah, it's been something to watch. As we all know, the real estate market has exploded here. There's a shortage of inventory impacted by COVID. Also, it's much easier to get to the coast from other areas of the state than it ever has been before. And people are beginning to realize what a jewel we have here on the Crystal Coast.
And we pulled the plug, made the move in 2020 as well to make this our permanent home. But we have a long history here, and we've been coming down for really the last 10 years really consistently. So we decided to sort of reflect on our journey, and we documented 6 different ways that anybody could start getting their feet wet with a home at the coast or coming to the coast. Yeah. So we're going to walk through this now.
Yeah, we want to walk through those. Also, check out our blog, crewcoastal.com, and we've written a blog article about this as well. But there are sort of 3 categories for moving here. The first one would be renting, being able to sort of get a taste of the coast and see what it's like to live here through a long-term rental. Investing in a vacation home and some other options that we'll go over, and then also being all in like we did. We moved down here temporarily and looked at each other after a few weeks and said, we've got to make this work. So we'll start with renting and just getting down here on a part-time basis.
Yeah, so the first thing that we did, and a lot of people do, is just start coming down on the weekends. So you can stay with friends or family, rent an Airbnb or VRBO, or we've stayed at some of the inns around town. And that's just a nice way to get a relaxing weekend, come down on Friday, go back Sunday or Monday morning. So that was really the first way that we started coming down more frequently. And
there are obviously a lot of areas in the Crystal Coast. There's Beaufort, Morehead City, and then Atlantic Beach and Emerald Isle, and then all the places between Atlantic Beach and Emerald Isle. So you really get a chance to sort of taste all of these areas and see what it is that you like, where you like to hang out, and sort of what neighborhoods you might be interested in living in on a more permanent basis.
Yeah, when we first started coming down, we were coming down a lot during the summer, but then we started coming down even more often during the rest of the year. So the next step that we took was to rent an annual rental. So we had a great condo, it overlooked a marina and some water, and we rented that for a year, and that ended up turning into 4 years, and we have amazing memories of that experience.
Yeah, the kids were kind of growing up, and we were able to really see what it was like to live down here and have a place down here. And that's when I got the bug, really.
Yeah, and renting is nice because we didn't have any home projects on the weekends. We were really just coming down here to relax.
Yeah, and we were free to do whatever we wanted. I like that part, no maintenance, no home maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. But after 4 years of paying rent, we started to do a little math and realized it might make more sense to have our money start working for us. So our next step, we mapped out a plan to get down here full time 3 years from that point. And so we thought, well, let's go ahead while the market was good, interest rates were low, go ahead and buy a home and rent it out till then.
Right, so we got into the vacation rental business. And it's not that hard. We found a great property here in Beaufort, and we're able to manage that ourselves, almost completely ourselves, through Airbnb and VRBO. We built up a great client base, and we worked with a local business to help with things like key pickup and drop off and cleaning and things like that.
Yeah, and for us, we found a single family home that was in the area that we wanted. We knew it would be a good, popular rental, but we could have also we did also look for a multifamily home. So if in this area, especially along the island, along the beach areas on the island, there are a lot of duplexes. So you could buy a full duplex, rent one out, stay in the other one. Here in the Beaufort area, you see a lot of homes that have a single family home and then a guest cottage in the back. So that's another option under the investment category.
Yeah, and in the investment category, you need to pay attention to how much you use the place, get with your accountant and tax advisor and make sure that you're not overstaying. However, you do have the option to stay often and get good use out of it for yourself. So that's a vacation rental versus a second home, a true second home.
Yeah, and then so once we had the vacation rental, it was going very well. It was turning a profit. We weren't coming down a ton at that time because kids were getting really busy with after school activities and weekend activities. So that worked out really well for us in that time. But once COVID hit and our renters ended up canceling for that time period when everyone canceled, we decided to come down just for a few weeks and stay in our rental. And that's when we really got the bug. And at that point, like a lot of folks, we started to see that we could really work remotely, and the kids were doing online school, so it worked out well for us.
Yeah, it made it easy for us to accelerate our 3-year time frame and pull the trigger much earlier. And we have never looked back. We are so happy to be here, and we are able to work remotely. We have continued our professional careers, and we're enjoying life on the Crystal Coast.
Yeah, I mean, and another way you could do it is to have a second home, and Carteret County is home to a lot of second homeowners. So there are many ways to chart your path here. We hope to see you down at the Rum Bar dock or at a barbecue or out on the beach. Please come join us and let us know if you have any questions about your path here. Migration that started back in 2020.
Was that my cue?
Yes, that was your cue.